Our programs include many languages. Please log on to our program schedule for more details. suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes comprennent des émissions en plusieurs langues. Pour de plus amples informations, consultez suprememastertv.com/schedule.
برامجنا تشتمل على العديد من اللغات. يرجى تسجيل الدخول لجدول بث البرامج للوقوف على المزيد من التفاصيل. suprememastertv.com/schedule.
First a wildebeest calf and then a zebra foal get caught in the currents and begin to get swept away. Both times the compassionate hippo intervenes and steers the young ones towards the shore and safety. Continue watching to find out more. Hello, cherished viewers. I am Olivia the Dove from our world's southernmost national capital, Wellington, New Zealand. The animals and people of New Zealand wish that God's blessings of goodness and happiness always fill your life. Our show today is about the heavenly attributes of animals. We animals have many seen and unseen abilities, such as giving individuals timely assistance during dangerous situations, as well as helping with everyday tasks. Though we may not speak any human language, our pure, unconditional, loving qualities can transcend communication barriers and bring much happiness and meaning into people's lives. We have the honour to profile several animals on our program who have heroically aided or saved people or other animals because of the true love in their hearts. Hooray! The acute senses of dogs assist those who are hearing or visually impaired. Many canines selflessly serve as faithful companions to their human friends. Overall, the love that dogs bring is boundless. Our first story is about Dane, a young man in Australia who needs assistance due to having cerebral palsy. Lucky, a small Maltese cross, was brought to Dane's home many times while his support worker was temporarily looking after the dog on behalf of his caregivers, who are twin sisters. This was a joyful surprise to Dane. As Lucky is very quiet by nature, her presence was not detected until a few months later by a neighbour who pointed out that the complex's rules prohibited canines on the premises. By this time, an intimate relationship had developed between Lucky and Dane, with friends and family noticing the substantial improvement in the happiness and behaviour of the young man due to Lucky's weekly visits. An appeal was presented to the complex's governing body for the visitations to continue. Dane's positive changes in outlook, attitude and well-being were pointed out to the rule makers. Appreciating how Dane's newfound outgoing friend Lucky had transformed him for the better, the governing body allowed the weekly visits to continue, much to the delight of Dane and his father. Thank you, Lucky, for brightening Dane's life, and to the governing body members for your loving acceptance and empathy. Our next story showcases the sixth sense we animals possess and our behaviour before severe storms or natural disasters. Many have reported seeing animals acting to avoid danger before any signs of peril are visible to humans, such as the case of Ning Nong the elephant, who befriended a then 8-year-old girl named Amber Owen of the UK. She was on a month-long holiday in Phuket, Thailand. The pair spent time together eating bananas and playing during her stay at a local resort. On the morning of December 26, 2004, Amber was riding Ning Nong along the beach when the water started rapidly receding. Some beachgoers began walking toward the ocean to better view the unusual event. Ning Nong did the opposite, fleeing away from the sea with Amber on her back. Soon after that, an enormous rush of seawater engulfed the beach, and quickly moved inland. Ning Nong stood strong through the waters and carried Amber to a high wall where she climbed off to safety. Amber's mother soon found her thereafter, and they moved to higher ground before a second wave hit the area. Brave Ning Nong has since moved to an elephant camp in Kanchanaburi, Thailand, and is still winning over the hearts of the tourists who visit her there. According to the UK-based newspaper Daily Mail, German wildlife photographer and videographer Ingo Gerlach was filming Icelandic horses in Germany's Westerwald mountain range in December 2018, when he noticed a 2-year-old horse who looked quite weak. As you can see, the yearling sinks to the ground and eventually ends up on his side. The other herd members are very concerned and know his survival depends on him getting back on his feet and moving about given the extremely cold conditions. Mr. Gerlach noted it was -2 degrees Celsius outside on the day of filming. To encourage him to be active and get up, the other herd members bite, nip and nudge him. The prodding and nipping eventually gets the yearling standing again, and they nuzzle and comfort him to show their love. The herd's caregiver suspects the young one was suffering from colic at the time, which causes extreme abdominal pain. Way to go, herd members! At a railway station in Kanpur, a large city in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India, a rhesus macaque walks on the high-tension electrical wires above the station, is severely electrocuted, and falls onto the tracks unconscious. Another rhesus macaque sees that serious accident and rushes to the injured monkey's aid. He tries various ways to awaken his poor friend, including shaking, biting, nipping, and dipping him in water. After 20 minutes, he succeeds in reviving him, and the electrocuted monkey moves away from the tracks. What a beautiful act of friendship and caring. We'll return in just a few moments after an informative message. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back, loving viewers. Let's continue with our show, The Heavenly Attributes of Animals, on Supreme Master Television. When it comes to aquatic animals, dolphins are highly interactive with other species, showing the same playful traits as humans, with the protective qualities of a loving friend. The love of dolphins was experienced in 2004 by a group of lifeguards, part of the Whangarei Heads Surf Life Saving Club, during a training swim. The event occurred about 100 metres offshore from Ocean Beach near Whangarei on New Zealand's North Island. The lifeguards were Rob Howes, his then 15-year-old daughter, and her 2 friends. The 4 swimmers were surrounded by a pod of 7 bottlenose dolphins who purposely kept them close together. After a while, Rob managed to swim away from the pod, but was ushered back to the centre of the protective circle by 2 of the larger dolphins. Just as he rejoined the other lifeguards, Rob noticed that well below the surface lurked a 3-metre-long great white shark who began moving directly towards the girls, but was intercepted by the dolphins and repelled. The dolphins continued circling the group for another 40 minutes until the great white was well away. Rob brought the girls back to shore without telling them of the shark to keep them calm. American dolphin expert Dr. Diana Rice says that dolphins make conscious decisions about when they intervene and that they evaluate the situation and are selective of who and in which circumstances they will help. These incredible actions taken by the dolphin pod to protect Rob Howes and the other lifeguards, whom the pod members had never met, is yet another shining example that we animals are pure-hearted beings who wish only for a peaceful state of existence and are ever capable of selfless and noble deeds to aid others. Jurong, a male Bornean orangutan, spots a moorhen chick drowning in a pond. He proceeds to do exactly what any of us would do, try to assist the struggling young bird. He first uses a leaf, thinking that perhaps the chick could grab onto it with her mouth and then be lifted out of the water. Jurong also attempts to use the leaf to push the chick to a place where she could get out of the water. However, both approaches don't work, so he scoops up the precious bird in his hand and brings her onto land. And like any good lifeguard, he checks out his rescuee to make sure everything is okay afterward. These two hippos are also all-star lifeguards. Their life-saving talents are on display when a duckling frantically tries to get on land from a pond that has a wall too high for him to climb over. His mother is unable to assist despite hearing his cheeps for help. The hippos earnestly try different ways to get him on land by teaming up together. Finally, one hippo gets in just the right position and uses his nose to give the bird a quick lift onto dry ground. Bravo! This hippo is doing a terrific job of ensuring the protection of those entering the fast-flowing Mara River in Tanzania. Wildebeest and zebras are crossing the waters as part of their migration. Unfortunately, first a wildebeest calf and then a zebra foal get caught in the currents and begin to get swept away. Both times the compassionate hippo intervenes and steers the young ones towards the shore and safety. A round of applause for this benevolent hippo.